Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan, Space Cadet Crypto, and today we're going to be covering more Shiba news and the new audit that just actually passed and what that means for the price of the Shiba token and where we can see that price going in the near future. So if this interests you, make sure to like and subscribe, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss on any important news. But let's just jump right in. So we do have here the fear and greed index, and I always want to take a look at this just because I want to see the overall market, the overall sentiment for the market. And we do see that we are at a 20 still. We are still in extreme fear. A lot of people are still very nervous about the price of Bitcoin and all the other altcoins. Remember, Bitcoin is the leading indicator, so we always have to take a look at this. Even if we're just invested in Shiba token or any other altcoin, Bitcoin is going to dictate where the market is going to be going. So we are at 20, extreme fear. We're extreme fear yesterday, and this past month has just been extreme fear. People are less and less hopeful for the market to recover. But as you know, when the market is on a decline like this and we see people losing hope, that is the best time to buy. So not financial advice, but that has been always the best time to buy here. So we are at extreme fear, but let's actually jump into the audit. So CERTIK, if you do not know, CERTIK is an auditing company that audits new crypto platforms, new crypto exchanges, and crypto projects like Shibaswap, SHIBA token, and all these other coins. And the way it works here is if you want to look, you can look here on your project name. You can just type in anything you want. Let's say you want to look at Shiba, then we have Shibaswap. We have all these other projects here that you can take a look at as well. Like we have Safemoon here, and I'm gonna talk about Safemoon in a minute too as well. But we do see that Shibaswap here is at the top, and it has one audit that just came out released. It's been onboarding, meaning it was in progress for the last couple of weeks. I think almost a month. Actually says here request date was 5/27, so almost a month and a half to 2 months. So we've been waiting for a while, and we finally got our security score of 92. And so we have our 30-day high of 92 out of 100. So it is a pretty good score. It is a good score. But let's also keep looking, let's keep reading and looking at what else that CERTIK found. So we do have here 34 total findings, with 97% of these findings being resolved. And a finding pretty much is just either an issue or some logistical problem that they found on Shibaswap that could be fixed. And we do see here there's no critical findings, meaning there's no very severe findings or issues that happen on Shibaswap, but we do have 8 major findings, and you can read here exactly what these findings are. Some of them have to do with centralization and privilege and logical issues. And as of right now, we do have that a lot of them have been resolved. So 97% of these issues have been resolved. So that is a good thing to see. We have 8 major findings, 1 medium finding. So all of these findings have been resolved except for one of these minor findings here. So the request set was, remember, May 27th. Looking through Shibaswap and seeing if there's any major errors or vulnerabilities in the platform that could potentially be good for hackers or people to kind of steal liquidity or just take advantage of a new system like Shibaswap here, but they have mostly been resolved. So we do see here the static analysis. So if you take a look here at the CERTIK, how they kind of distinguish and look through their on-chain data for these audits, you can see that they have a breakdown here. They have 17 issues detected, 376 vulnerability and security checks. So that's pretty good. Out of 376 checks, they only found 17 issues with those, and that's the reason why I got a score of 98. On-chain monitoring, which is the healthy based on real-time transactional, the tracking systems got a 93. The lowest score got the safety assessment right here. So it was good based on 20 safety and hazard evaluations. It got an 87. So if we scroll down here, we can see that there's a lot of different tabs that we can take a look at. We have the overall sentiment of the project, how people are feeling about Shibaswap, and we do have 17.5% saying it's positive, 77% is neutral, and only 5% is negative. So overall, the sentiment is very neutral towards Shibaswap. We do have here monitoring, just showing kind of the total users on Shibaswap, which is almost 200,000 people. There's 718,000 transactions that are monitored right here on the CERTIK audit, and there has been 14 contracts that have been monitored. And we also see this another tab for governance. And if you do not know what governance is, it's basically just a system for the developers to either change or make updates to the existing blockchain code. So just making updates to Shibaswap or making any changes that they need, that they feel are warranted for Shibaswap. So that's what governance is. And they got their governance score of 94 out of 100, which is pretty good. And this is another one for the market. It's very volatile, as you can see, especially with Shibaswap being online. We do see very volatile movements within the candle price pattern for Shibaswap and for Shiba token. So we're going to take a look at that in just a moment too. And here we do see just a kind of an overall breakdown. For safety, we do have a very low, not a very low score, but a lower score than what we've been seeing for the overall score for Shibaswap. And we see it's at an 87, so it's not great. And we see that the weakest components of the score have to deal with the security, with decentralization, and testing. So the source code quality. And if we scroll over this, you can see it says here high scoring projects, so ones that have fully green, have few special privileges held by an internal team. So I'm guessing here Shibaswap has more of these special privileges encoded for their internal team, the developers, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but it's something that we do have to take a look at and keep an eye out. Hopefully this score does go up for decentralization, and the security score does go up for here, because right now safety is only at 87. It should be at least in the 90s. But as we can see, if we look back up here, we do have a bunch of findings that have been 97% results. So they are working on it still. The team is still making updates, which is a good thing to see. But we also have our another weakness here in source code quality, and it says high scoring projects have a significant portion of their source code commented and covered by tests. So they just have more tests being run on the code itself, the blockchain. And so that's why we see a lower score here. But remember, it's only been out for a day. This audit just came out, and we're gonna take a look at Safemoon and see how they actually handled their CERTIK audit, because that is another meme coin that did blow up and had its own audit, and we can see how the difference between the two. All right, and we have another one right here: insurance and protections. High scoring projects have insurance like coverages for end users to protect their assets. So as of right now, we're seeing not many protection protocols for the Shibaswap, because it did get this slightly lower score. But like I said before, it is just the beginning. They're still adding on to and creating and resolving issues that the CERTIK audit did find. But as of right now, it's looking pretty good. As of right now, it's saying the weakest link is the decentralization part of the security, right? So that is what we have to keep an eye out for. But as of right now, we do have all these metrics here, from the static analysis, on-chain monitoring, social sentiment, which, I mean, that just is just how everybody feels about the project, and governance and autonomy, and market volatility. So as of right now, the weakest link is that safety assessment, which can also just go back up to higher levels once they bring in more additions to their governance, right? So updating and creating more security for the Shibaswap, which is everything that the developers are trying to do right now. But as you can see, 92 is not a bad score. But the reason why I want to take a look at this, I want to take a look at Safemoon as well, because let's look at their audit. So Safemoon also had an audit here. As you can see, their security score is at 88. So right here, you can see July 29th, it had a value of 87, and has since just been wavering within that area. So it hasn't really gone up or down. But if we take a look here at the findings, we have 13 findings. I think SHIBA had 34, so it had way more. It had way more total findings here compared to Safemoon. But at least Shibaswap has resolved 97% of them. So there's only one finding left right here in minor findings to be resolved. But as you can see, there has been nothing resolved for Safemoon, and we actually did see a lot of articles coming out about the vulnerability of using Safemoon, and how there's other auditing projects that have found huge issues with their blockchain, with their protocol, and how they run Safemoon, that could lead to potential hacks in the near future. So this is kind of why I want to just point this out, is because even though their score is not that far apart, we do see that Safemoon has shown vulnerability in their project. And just because an audit brings a good score doesn't mean that it is safe from all hacks or vulnerability in the near future. So I just want to bring that up to you guys just because I want to be transparent in how we read these audits. But as of right now, the SHIBA audit is looking very good, but Safemoon also has a high score too. But the difference is they did not resolve any of the findings that they found. And also, as you can see, the safety assessment down here is very low here too. So if we look at safety, we can see there has been no decentralization, right? It's been in the red. Their source code quality is very low, and their insurance and protections to protect the users, whoever uses the Safemoon token, it's very low here too. So the overall, the analysis is the security score is at 88, but if you take a deeper look, you can see all these red scores here, meaning there's no decentralization, the source code is very bad, and protection for users that use this is very, very low. So even though they're 4 points across, you can see these huge areas where they do need to work on. And as of right now, they have not made any improvements. So they haven't resolved any of these issues. So that's the difference between Safemoon and SHIBA. Is at least SHIBA, with their security, they are trying to resolve as many as they can, and their score is just getting higher as we speak. And for their safety, they do only have three areas in the yellow, so definitely not as bad as Safemoon. But yeah, that's great to see here for Shibaswap. This just came out today for all the fudders out there saying that Shibaswap was not real. And I did also have my doubts. I'm not gonna lie, I had my doubts here too. But once I saw this in the proof, I did change my mind on Shibaswap. As any level-headed investor needs to be, is you need to see and you need to adjust your vision for investments. It's a per day thing because you need to see and weigh everything in at once. You need to look at the fundamental, the technicals, everything to make a sound decision on what you want to invest in. And that's what I did here with Shibaswap. I do see that it has a great score, and I did look deeper in here and seeing that they do resolve their issues and their safety is way higher than a lot of these other meme tokens that had their security score. And this is just another, let's just take a look at this article here as well. The Safemoon audit, 9 things you need to know about the Safemoon CERTIK findings. And if you want to take a closer look at the audit results for Safemoon and see what exactly is wrong with the project that still hasn't been resolved, I'll leave this article in the description down below. But as you can see, just in the first couple bullet points, the CERTIK audit found 13 issues which they haven't resolved yet. And according to the audit, one major issue has to do with centralized risk in the add liquidity function. So it says over time, the owner address will accumulate a significant portion of the liquidity pool tokens. And if the owner is an externally owned account, the entire project could face big consequences. And then if we look down below here, this is how they responded. It says Safemoon says that its founding structure makes it unique from other projects. More specifically, it says that it's less likely to commit rug pull scam because of legal liabilities. I don't know how much you believe that. Let me know in the comments down below if you believe what the Safemoon team says. And it says Safemoon also says we publicly express our goals and intentions of why we will retain custody of the contract, and the functions allow additional control for the Safemoon team to make continual strategic plays in regards to long-term growth. So I mean, it all just depends. Do you believe the team? Do you trust the team enough to put your liquidity, to put your money in these contracts, and for them to look out for the best interest of the investors here? So that is up to you. Let me know in the comments down below, which one do you trust more? Do you trust Shibaswap or do you trust Safemoon? Because I know some people are invested in both here, but we do see that the CERTIK audit is way better here for Shibaswap. All right, but let's take a look at the price now and see where Shibaswap is going. So as you can see, we've been in this descending channel for the longest time, except here on June 28th is when we actually finally broke out here. And I did say that we had this double top scenario going on here in my last video. If you saw that, and remember, if you don't want to miss out on any of this important information, make sure to like and subscribe, turn on bell notifications, because I'm going to be posting it all right here on my channel. And if you saw my episode here, you were warned that I said this is a double top pattern here, that we're creating this M structure, which is a reversal pattern, meaning we're going to be going lower. And what happened? We actually went down lower here. And I did stress and I warned that, hey, once we got this rejection from this point, we are going to be coming down to this area. So if you wanted to buy, it was best to wait down here. Getting a not financial advice, but look what happened. Exactly, we've touched this area right here. It was a retest of this breakout. boom, moving up higher. So where do I see Shiba going? Well, it all depends on Bitcoin. But if we see Bitcoin's momentum going up, we are going to be moving up here, because this has always been area. This blue box has always been an area where we've been moving away from. So we find our supply right here, people wanting to buy in at these lower ranges, and we always move up here and we see a sell-off in this blue box, right? So people are always buying in this lower blue box and they're selling in this higher blue box. Let's take a look at our moving averages as well. So we're on the 6-hourly time chart, and as you can see, the price is actually below all these moving averages, meaning that the price is going to go down lower. So we could see another retest of this blue box, which is actually not a good sign, because that potentially means that we could be trading in this lower region here, because we are testing this blue box multiple times. We tested it 2 times already in the last week already. So it could be that we might actually break through this blue box eventually. So that is also something to look out for here as well. And as you can see, if we do manage to retest and break apart and break through these moving averages here, the red, the yellow, and the orange, the 21, the 50, and the 200-day, then we potentially could see us coming back up here and retesting this 10 area at the 0.00001, which could ultimately happen very soon as well if we see Bitcoin's price changing. But right now we are still in a downwards momentum, because we are below all these moving averages and we are making lower highs. So we had a high, a lower high, which signaled my double top pattern, and then we have an even lower high here, and now we're trading within this range between the 0.000082 and the 0.00007 area. So we could just potentially be trading within this range and then come back up to this level and then keep on moving up slowly but surely. But if we look at this M pattern, the overall price target would be from the top to the neckline, which is down here, and the ultimate price target would be $0.000066. All right, so that is it for my video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you found it informative, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting as much as I can in the next coming days here. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much. Peace out.